Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we dive into the most pressing global issues and bring you the latest news and analysis. We're starting off with a fascinating look at the complex geopolitics of the Middle East. A recent article in Foreign Affairs highlights the crucial role that Pakistan played in mediating between Iran and the United States, helping to prevent further escalation in the region. The article notes that Pakistan's willingness to cross diplomatic divides and engage with both countries was instrumental in creating a temporary calm. However, the situation remains volatile, with tensions between Iran and the U.S. still running high. The Iranian government has expressed its commitment to maintaining the safety of maritime traffic in the Strait of Hormuz, but has also made it clear that it will not be bullied or intimidated by external powers. As we explore this story further, it's essential to consider the various perspectives at play. The U.S. has been seeking to reduce its involvement in the Middle East and focus on the Indo-Pacific region, while Iran is determined to assert its influence and protect its interests in the region. Meanwhile, other countries, such as Israel, have their own agendas and priorities, which can sometimes conflict with those of the U.S. and Iran. The recent memorandum between the U.S. and Iran, which aimed to establish a framework for cooperation on maritime security, ultimately collapsed due to disagreements over interpretation and implementation. As we navigate this complex web of alliances and rivalries, it's crucial to remain fair and balanced in our analysis. We must consider the historical context, the competing interests, and the potential consequences of different actions. The situation in the Middle East is a stark reminder that international relations are often fraught with challenges and uncertainties. As we move forward, it's essential to prioritize diplomacy, dialogue, and cooperation to prevent further conflict and promote stability in the region. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we continue to explore the complexities of global diplomacy, we're shifting our focus to the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, gathering in Manila. This meeting has brought together top diplomats from around the world, including U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. According to reports, Rubio has expressed his readiness to meet with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on the sidelines of the ASEAN events, although it's unclear if such a meeting has been finalized. The Kremlin, however, has indicated that Moscow would welcome contacts between the two top diplomats. Meanwhile, Wang Yi is scheduled to meet with Philippine counterpart Teresa Lazaro, marking the first time top diplomats from China and the Philippines have met since 2024. This engagement is particularly significant given the worsening relations between the two nations over the South China Sea, as well as the Philippines' growing alignment with Japan and its willingness to get involved in any conflict over Taiwan. It's worth noting that Manila has become more outspoken in its opposition to China's claims in the South China Sea and has signaled its intention to pursue talks on maritime borders with Japan. This has drawn Beijing's ire, with China imposing sanctions on the Philippines' defense chief last month. Despite these tensions, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has expressed openness to restarting talks with Beijing on a joint oil and gas project in a disputed area of the South China Sea. This development comes after the Iran war disrupted energy flows, highlighting the need for cooperation in the region. As we navigate these complex geopolitical dynamics, it's essential to consider the perspectives of all parties involved. The meeting between Wang Yi and Teresa Lazaro will undoubtedly be closely watched, and its outcome could have significant implications for regional stability. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, I want to bring to your attention a rather unusual and intriguing story from the world of Australian politics. It appears that Barnaby Joyce, a prominent figure in the One Nation Party, had a bit of an unexpected interruption during a live interview on the ABC's 7:30 program. While discussing his party leader Pauline Hanson's recent trip to Europe and her comments on immigration, Joyce suddenly roared at a dog off camera, leaving viewers and the interviewers somewhat perplexed. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does this have to do with politics? Well, it seems that Joyce's outburst was just one of several unusual moments during the interview. He also claimed that Channel 7 had suggested Hanson meet with British right-wing activist Tommy Robinson, which the network has since denied. Additionally, Joyce appeared to suggest that one nation could use data from the medical system and parking fines to identify illegal immigrants. It's worth noting that Pauline Hanson has been making headlines recently for her comments on immigration and multiculturalism, including a call for mass deportations of people in Australia illegally. Her party, One Nation, has been facing criticism for its stance on these issues, with some accusing them of promoting divisive and discriminatory policies. As always, we strive to bring you balanced and unbiased reporting here on Barbara's Bulletin. It's up to our listeners to decide what they think about these developments and how they might impact Australian politics. One thing is certain, however, the world of politics is never dull, and we will be keeping a close eye on these stories as they continue to unfold. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay engaged.